All right. Some old count is rising and perpetual rising. It's our show all over again.
Yeah, already.
We're back on the Mega Cruise.
Hey, I like how it shows up on the phone. I got a YouTube. Watch now live, David Ellefson. More live stream with death. I like that. It's actually really good.
Thank you.
I like that. So
say hi, everybody.
Hey, what's up, everybody? On the More Live. What do you call it? More Live with Death.
More Live
with DE/TH, which is David Ellefson, Thom Hazaert. Yeah, right. It's not even death. Right. It's just DE/TH.
I tell you what, I was so mind blown the day that I realized our initials spelled death. You have no idea.
I know. Like a boy, if you were God.
Hey, Stan. If you have
never seen anything you can have, look at me, the hand of feet, look at clans of being a holy creed, crimes of passion and crimes of hate, who know we are, the sick to stay free, living in darkness and a blackened gold. Would you prevent them or let them fall?
There must be a reason. There must be an answer. Questions that we hate to ask, but fear the come. Latency jam.
If you're God,
if
you're God,
would someone love?
If you're God,
and if you had to choose,
if you're God,
what would you do?
Wow, it's so interesting, the latency, right?
I know.
Right? It's always like a couple, because people, it's funny, yesterday, Frank Bello and I were chatting, and we were talking about, like, how do you jam together, you know? And I remember there was a thing, remember that band Twist Dead Fable? The drummer actually played with Dash Cooper for a while, maybe still does, right? And I remember going in to produce something for them here in Phoenix, and this was probably 2002, 3, 4, something like that. And they had something in their jam room that you could plug into. It was like a headphone system, and you could plug into it, and you could jam basically without amps, right? It's kind of the precursor to what we now have is Kempers and modeling and all that stuff. But I thought there was a version of that you could actually do that over the internet. I don't know. I don't see them now, though. So I don't know where they are. So sexy beasts. That includes you, Ron. What's happening, buddy? How are you? So I always love how Bumblefoot's always up at, what time is it? Midnight.
Like midnight over there.
It's not even that late. Right? Get on stage around 11. Sip and drink and feeling fine.
Sip and drink and feeling fine. We've been dancing with the Mr. Brownstone. He's been knocking on the won't leave me alone.
Something like that. I don't know every. Hey, Fran, what's happening, buddy? How are you? Just funny. Me and Fran just talked today, man. I know that cheesecake. Julie made a cheesecake tonight.
Ooh.
And it's just like, oh my God! I was sending Fran food porn photos.
So so as you know, nobody else does. So I went to Madison this weekend to see my friend Matt LaPlante, and we social distanced. I was in a separate room, but I went and tracked some vocals for the Ellefson record. Well, I actually happened to pop down to Rockford to go see Liz and Jen from Halo Cupcake and And damn it, Jen, I'm sorry. And the cake company and Sugar on Top that made the cake for the Oh Say Can You Stream,
Right.
and they sent me away with a little box of goodies too, and it was delightful. So
that's awesome. Yeah. So in case you're tuning in, a couple weeks ago they made that awesome cake for me and Alice Cooper, well, for the foundation, but they put all the stuff on it, like Alice's top hat and
our album cover.
Our album cover, yeah, exactly. The microphone, everything. So we just decided to stop in here for a couple things. Yeah, for as Thom just said, he was down putting some vocals down on the new Ellefson solo album, which is really coming along great. Was something we'd actually, I guess we'd planned on doing it right now anyway. We kind of thought some other things were going to be pushing through before, but obviously with the lockdown and everything, so we're constructively moving forward doing that. But last week we launched the eBay auction for the David Ellefson Youth Music Foundation, and right behind us is that is the one, right, Thom? That's the one being auctioned. What is the link for the?
I'll post it. It was in the description for the live stream here. I'll post it in the
hey, chat. Chris Bush. There's our friend Chris Bush. Yeah, so post the auction. So there's another day left on the eBay auction.
It ends tomorrow, but there's the rust. Yeah. That's basically a drum head.
Let me show you what we got.
Yeah, show them.
That, and then over here, this euthanasia one, which is right here. And look, I added my Scorpions, Megadeth, Madison Square Garden picture. I just chucked it up there. And then a nice photo that Rick Triana, our photographer friend from Chicago, that he did back there in the corner, which I thought was cool. But that right there, that drum head, the euthanasia one and the Rust in Peace one behind me, those are the two that are in the auction. There you go. There, Thom just posted it. So, so that's it. Yeah, I know, right, Linda? We all missed.
They will sign them and personalize them.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah. And another thing going up.
Tell us about that bass,
dude. Okay, so this bass. So this is the new, I just pushed out a thing. This is the new 30th anniversary Rust in Peace 5-string bass from Jackson Guitars. It is brand new. They're shipping now in April. They just we launched them at NAMM. I'm not kidding you. Probably my favorite basses I've ever owned. I mean, they're that good. And I just did a little demo for Jackson today that they'll be putting up on the site. I kind of went through the features of the tuners, and lots of times when you start these things, you use some third-party tuners and bridges and stuff like we've done with Hipshot and Badass, Lil Quan stuff. But Jackson has this bass. We basically built this bass from photos of the original bass. There's only one of these made. This has never been a production model bass. I had one made after we recorded Hanger 18. I tuned it down. I've told the story if you've been to the bass story in my clinics before. So we recorded all the songs on Rust in Peace. And the last one, I waited to the very last one, was Hanger 18. And the reason why is because it's up here in D. In fact, let me try to turn. I might have to turn this so you can see. So, and I didn't want to record the whole thing up here in this register, right, 5th fret. So I tuned my 4-string Jackson down. Did a drop tuning. Right, play the intro. Right through the whole thing. Right? I can't even play it like that because it's so then we go on tour. We're getting ready to go to Europe to do the Clash of the Titans tour, Slayer, Megadeth, Suicidal Tendencies, and Testament. And I realized I need a 5-string bass. Mike Link and I went around LA looking all over for basses. Tobias, there's a whole bunch of different companies that were making them, but they were really wide necks. They didn't sound like what we were recording. So I called Jackson, flipping out, going, "Oh my God, I need a bass so I can go on tour." And that's when we invented this bass. So the pictures you've seen of me, there was literally one of these, and it was basically the concert bass at that time. And then we just basically added the 5th string on it. So now, obviously, with new technology, we put some EMG pickups in it. We kept the same 3-knob electronic with the volume, bass, treble, and then this toggle switch, the PJ pickup setup, and a killer Jackson bridge. I just changed strings in this last night. In fact, I was actually going to film doing it because it's really weird how, now that we're giving lessons to the Youth Foundation, a lot of kids have great instruments, but they're not set up properly. They don't change the strings. They don't know how to tune the, tweak the neck. So I was actually thinking about doing a tutorial like that, which I might actually do. So, but I literally just changed strings in this thing last night, and this bridge is amazing. It's so good. So that's a Jack OEM, as we call it, original equipment manufacturer. Same with the tuners. So this bass is awesome. So they're available, and we are going to take the bass and we're going to put it up on our eBay auction. So Thom is going to be popping that up there. Sign it. I mean, these are literally brand spanking new.
Yep.
And
the bass is basically the first 2 Jackson sent David. One of them is going up for auction. It's like the original ones that he got from his personal collection. All the funds are going to the Ellefson Youth Music Foundation, of course.
Yeah. So, and it is great. So obviously, look, bid on the one for the eBay, because that one I will sign it. I will have it here, obviously, to sign and send out to you right from here. That's how we're going to do that one. And then obviously, if you don't get that one, go to jacksguitars.com, look up and find a dealer. They got a great dealer network, dealer finder on the site. So anywhere around the world, you can find a Jackson dealer and have a bass shipped to you during this time. It is awesome. I'm not kidding you. I know it's got my name on it, but I'm not shamelessly pimping it. It is freaking amazing. And just, one of the things I always check, first of all, I always take a bass and I just hit it.
And you need one of those cases over there too.
Yeah, I always first I pick up an instrument, I just strike it. I just see what it sounds like. Does it resonate? And it does. It sounds great. And then as I turn it on, for me, because it's a 35-inch neck, which is a little longer, and it really makes these notes just, it's like hitting a piano, they're just awesome. So I'm going to do some recording with it this week. I guess I got some songs that I'm going to cut for the Ellefson record. So probably a good thing it took this long to get this bass in my hands. So now I can do a little recording. So this thing will be played before it lands in your hands. So
what's the MSRP on it? Do you remember? I'm trying to find it.
I think it's
$9.99.
Is $9.99? That's the MSRP? Or is that
$9.99 is the estimated street price. Mm-hmm. Here, I'll post it into the. So
that means the MSRP is probably $1,200 or $1,300, but the street price is $9.99. Yeah. They call that the MAP pricing. There's manufacturer's suggested retail price, and there's manufacturer's actual price, which is MAP. So so I just can't even say enough good about it. Of course, I got all the other ones here. And that's what's nice with these Jacksons. Every one of them has a spot. The ones we rolled out, the white and black, these here, these totally, grab it here, like this one, man, like total just freaking P bass, man. I mean, I just absolutely love it. I did a bunch of recording with this bass recently. Did a bunch of recording with this one on something that some tunes. Obviously, this is the black. This is the 5-string.
Is that what you were using for the Drew thing?
Yes, it is. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I figured.
That's what I'm doing. Yep, exactly. It's perfect. That's a good kind of P bass through an SVT. Fingers just swampy if you're playing STP. Allison Chains kind of groovy, which there's just one record I'm working on right now that's kind of got that stuff for a friend of mine. We've got a little thing we're doing, and it's just. And it was fun to do that. It's fun to just kind of goof off with that. But, this one is great. In fact, I'll probably take this to Nashville when we start. I'll get another one from Jackson, take it down to Nashville. And when we start cutting the Megadeth record, which that should be coming along here pretty quickly. So Dingwall guy. No, we tried a Dingwall. I like Dingwall. In fact, those great people there. They're super cool. I like the fan Fred idea. In fact, I first got turned on to a Dingwall in 1996 when we were doing the Cryptic Writings record in Nashville. Mike Brignardello, who played in Giant with Dan Huff and is now a first call session guy in Nashville, has been for the last 25, 30 years. He actually turned me on to those years ago, the whole fan fret technology. So it's kind of cool that the fan fret thing is really popular in a lot of like European power metal and symphonic metal bands. And I get it because it extends this low string, you know, because the frets fan. And it is interesting when you think about how your hand, when you're playing down here, it's tight. And then as you open up, your hand naturally fans open. So this concept that these frets down here are going to be narrow, but then as you go across the bass, the frets actually open up wider up here. So takes a little getting used to, especially I found getting used to up here on the top was a little different. But hey, greetings, Chili. What's up there, Megadeth, Chili Army?
The guy who keeps asking about Peter Steele, I literally have a picture of him hanging over my desk. I love Peter. I love Typo. Yeah. He was a good friend of mine, and yeah.
You know, I saw Peter not too long before he passed. He came through Phoenix, played the Marquee Theater. And I remember sitting down. We had a really good, fun chat together, and he's had these big green. You know, up here you can see there's like these little fret markers, right, on the 3rd, 5th, 7th, 9th, 12th fret, right? And he had these big green ones, and I was asking about it, and he made no bones. He goes, look, I just need to be able to see what I'm playing. And you know what else I loved about Peter's bass, and I always wanted to do this, is he just had an on-off switch, right? He didn't have any knob, no tone, no volume. And I said, dude, that is brilliant, because the reality of it is everything on when I play live in any situation, Megadeth or our solo stuff, I turn everything up full 10, front pickup, done. And really all I need is an on-off switch, right? That's really all I need. But obviously when you're making instruments for you to play, it has to have some obviously different tonal features, because you're not going to be playing it in the settings that I'm playing it in. So, but I thought that was awesome, man. Peter, the simplicity of it, he actually had some really cool signature bass ideas. Maybe they'll roll out a signature bass in this one day that they could have at NAMM just as an honorarium to him. That would be cool. What did he play, a Washburn or something?
I don't remember.
I can't remember either.
Let's see.
Can't remember.
I have the whole world of knowledge at my fingertips. What Peter Steele.
Called the internet. Yeah, Peter Steele, what was your bass?
And a Washburn M10 with an MM style pickup.
What brand was it?
It's a Washburn M10.
There was a Washburn. Okay, cool.
Yep. I forgot how cool it can. I love the green. I do love the green.
Isn't that cool? It's cool.
Fret markers on the neck.
You know what's funny I love about our current Ellefson coffees? We did this signature run for EMG over Christmas, and I love it. This custom crafted for EMG. I love that. That's cool to have.
Melody Myers. Yay, yes. Melody.
That's cool, since I use EMG. Got that signature set of EMGs too, the soap bars, which are really.
I don't know, Matt.
Yeah, Peter Steele is missed. Yeah. So when the shows come back,
your guess is as good as mine, buddy. I have no idea.
One thing we are doing tonight, and Thom, we were just talking about before we get on the call, is just we're going to be putting our Japan dates out.
Yep.
Of course, it's a year away almost. It's March, but
the coffee beans are definitely active.
They are. That's a good question, Brian. Orange County. Hey, Karen, what's going on from Orange County? Thank you.
Danzig.
Oh, I love that. Nice harmonics. You can just tell fundamental tones about an instrument. Some things work, sometimes they don't. They just freaking nailed this, man. This is so good. Especially the fact that basically put it together from pictures. I was sending him pictures that a lot of you guys and girls out on the internet have. And I would forward the pictures over to Jackson. Go, I don't know, here's a picture of me probably on tour with Judas Priest from 1990. Here's a picture of me from probably 1991. And I literally sent them, and that's, of course, they had some designs in this, but they didn't actually have all the schematics. They didn't have a whole bunch of designs of this bass sitting around anywhere. Mike Shannon, who's the custom master builder at Jackson, I think he probably built this for me in 1990. So he probably had but I don't think they didn't have drawings. They didn't have anything laying around. And the only one I made, I remember we did a big auction on Megadeth.com back in 1996 or 98, something like that, maybe 98. And sold a bunch of stuff off. So fans have all those basses, all those old Jacksons. People ask me that all the time. When I was 14 at City Gardens in Trenton, New Jersey, yes, was Slayer. The night before we played at Lemoore, my mom was at that show. My mom was out seeing our friend Sherry Conlon, who lived out in, they were like neighborhood friends of ours, excuse me, and they lived out in New Jersey, and my mom went out there to visit her, so my mom actually was at that Megadeth Slayer gig at City Gardens in Trenton, Vocal Zone.
After 2 days, I actually ran. You're gonna have to send me some of your stash, man. I
do.
I went through a whole box when I was in Madison doing vocals, and dude, big ups to Matt LaPlante for tracking my vocals. Dude,
Dude,
thank you.
So good. Hey, by the way, are these still around?
Yeah, I think so.
These are so good. You know, I'll show you what I do. So like here, right?
React.
If I just you set it here on your thing, and so when you get up and you need to walk away, you basically just set your instrument right there like that, and you can just walk away. It's like a guitar stand.
You got to see the one he made. Cool. Let me go grab it. Literally get a move.
Yeah, I use them all the time, and I have them. I sit them here by my computer. If I'm over there working, I'll just move them around my office and just keep changing them. So let me go look in your comments here a little bit since Thom walked away. Hoping for an A&A return to Sweetwater. So it's funny. I know that is fun, isn't it? When Sweetwater is so cool. Those guys are so gracious and so professional there. So me and Frank, we're going to go do this Monsters of Rock cruise in February.
So this is the one he made for me. It's a one-off. It's got Tony Soprano, Scarface, The Godfather.
Looks like Tony Soprano's got a gold
Joe
record.
Pesci.
Nice.
That's mine.
That's cool. The Godfather.
I actually need that in here. I don't know why I was in the living room. My guitars are always falling over.
Yeah, Keith, I know these Jacksons, don't they just sound great? They're just.
Hey, Shane. How you doing, buddy?
Connor Butler, Megadeth Live in the London, Ontario. You know what? I don't think we have played London.
The axe handler from React. You're right, America.
That is it, yeah.
You used to be able to order those from Walmart. I wonder if they still have them.
Great, because the action's so low, you can actually do kind of fun stuff like that. It's kind of nice. So
that's not on Peace Out or Rust in Peace.
It's not.
Hey, dude, you know what they have?
That's the motion right there.
So unfortunately, you used to be able to buy those David Ellefson signature axe handlers on Walmart.com, but now you can buy a copy of Making Music Your Business, a guide for young musicians by David Ellefson from Walmart.com, or a copy of Sleeping Giants on CD. So there's
from Walmart.com.
Yeah.
Yes, these are stainless steel. No, these are. No, I think these are nickels, actually. These are some SIT power wounds that I just put on here. I love them. They sound really, really good. And it's actually a different light. It's a little bit lighter gauge than I normally use. So it's a 125 on the B, 100, 60, 80, 45. So normally my strings are a little bit heavier. Usually I use a 105, but these actually sound pretty good. So 1129 in Columbia. Sounds like a lyric.
So speaking of euthanasia, So those two drum heads behind David, there's a Rest in Peace one and a Euthanasia one. They're actually drum heads with like the whole front drum assembly.
Yeah.
They're made by a company called Select Ahead. They have a bunch of Iron Maiden ones, and they're amazing. But you can buy those on our auction page right now. They end tomorrow. David will sign them. Those are the actual ones.
Yeah, someone's asking about slapping. You know, I don't do a ton of it, so I got to practice it. I actually got a couple of good books here by John Lieber. Is that his name? And it's funny, I always pop with that finger. I'm not flipping you off. Not ready. I know.
I am.
So
everybody wants you to play Peace Cells. Like 50 people
really?
play Peace Cells. That's what you get for having one of the most iconic
right. All right, I'll do it.
You're welcome. Yep.
There it is. So the thing is it's always that little piece right there, right? I gotta turn. I'll do this like that. Which is interesting. So I wrote and obviously played. We played that, recorded that on a Mockingbird, a Beast Rich Mockingbird. So what's interesting about that is that hangs very differently, and that's why I invented that Kelly Bird bass, was because instead of it sort of hanging back here, it sits out here. And that really makes a big difference in being able to play that. That's why I actually was using those live. So when it's sitting out here, you're right. So the whole thing, it's better. Your body basically mechanics of how your hand lays across the fingerboard is easier to play that riff when it's out here. I'm not really holding the instrument. This instrument isn't meant to be played like that.
All right, this guy. So this other guy is going to stop until you play hook and mouth. So you got to.
Okay, so this is the beauty of playing with Chuck Beeler last summer is that
everything.
So Jack Human, that Mockingbird, that Dogfighter bass is in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. We have a fan who bought it. Actually, I think Dave McGraw bought it, right? Who ran the Megadeth fan club, the Cyber Army. Then I think he sold it to this guy, and that guy put it in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. And it started. This guy went in there. He was so pissed that there was no Megadeth and no metal stuff in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So he donated it to the Hall of Fame. He technically still owns it, but he donated it. That started the heavy metal exhibit in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And now. Then now there's dime bag stuff and all the other stuff there. But that started from that guy donating my bass that from the Peace Cells video that I used on the Peace Cells album. So that one lick, sure, I haven't played it. That lick right, that digga. Then it. That's the Jeff Young riff. And underneath it, me and Dave are just going. Dave's playing some gnarly riff that he's playing, but the main riff. So that's it, and just thrashing. God, this bass is freaking awesome for this. This is like the quintessential thrash metal bass.
And remember, that will be on our eBay site tomorrow for the Ellefson Youth Music Foundation. You can go bid on it and buy that bass right there.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
And then you can play as good as David Ellefson.
I bet you can because that's all in the bass on this one. So someone's just asking about Scott's bass lessons. Yeah, I don't know when they're going to be publishing that, but it's funny. It is going to be coming out. It takes them a couple of months. They shoot those things. They got a lot of post production. They edit it all together. I mean, I was there for 2 days straight.
It will be tomorrow, Keith.
Is it? What's that?
He's got base for auction. Yeah, it'll be on the eBay site tomorrow.
Yeah. But Zach Ben, back to that Scott's bassist and thing. So that will be, they'll be announcing, and I think they said maybe May or June, something like that. So yeah, keep an eye out. And basically the 2 songs that I did on that were, what did I do? Vultures and Hammer, I think, right? I forgot. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm representing. I'm getting represented.
Yeah, exactly.
Somebody just said Vultures was their favorite song. I'm like, all right. Yeah, play that.
Leviathan, see. That was a fun one to play. Me and Frank did. God, it's amazing how these songs just come back. I mean, played that in like a year. And that was Satchel that played guitar on that. Oh my God, what a great guitar player that guy is.
Russ is awesome.
Amazing.
Oh, you remember Fight? How awesome was Fight? He played guitar in that band too with Rob.
I forgot that.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, Satchel played guitar.
Wait, who was that? It was Russ
Parrish.
I know, but who played guitar?
I don't remember who the other guitar player was. The drummer was Scott Travis, Russ. I have the record over here. I could go look at it if I really need to. Yeah, that was a great with Scott Travis, right? Yep.
Yeah, great. And great. God, I totally forgot. I remember when they weren't called Steel Panther, weren't they? What was the thing?
They were Metal Shop.
Funny, F5, we opened for them at the Roxy.
Viper Room?
At the Roxy.
Oh.
When they played it, because that was the only thing going on in Hollywood on a Monday night. Isn't that weird? We go from the Rainbow and all that we knew Hollywood to be back in the 80s and 90s, and all of a sudden it was dried up to nothing. I mean, after Nirvana came out in Pearl Jam in Seattle, it's like the record business just sent all their A&R people looking out elsewhere to find talent rather than down on the Sunset Strip, and everything dried up. It was just amazing. And then so fast forward, 2005, I guess. I was doing when I worked for Peavey, I was doing business with them, and it was the organization they managed Nickelback, Default.
Oh, are you talking about
it was Union Entertainment, right?
Union,
yeah.
Yep.
Union, yep. And Byron Hontus, who had actually worked publicity, he worked at Elektra, and then he came over and he worked at Capitol Records, and he worked all the Megadeth stuff there through the 90s. He was our publicist, and so he was working at Union. So he kind of took F5 under his wing and booked a couple things, and one of them was playing at the Roxy on a Monday night opening for what is now Steel Panther, which was what are they called? Metal School, right? SKOOL. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Dave, why do you keep your hair long when you're 55? I don't know. Good question.
Because he's in a fucking metal band. That's what you do.
If you're up to me, I'd probably cut it off. But Thom would yell at me, and so would Dave.
Yep, so. Exactly. Now you got two. Now you have 2 asshole singers to yell at you.
Do I ever jam Death tunes? No. The band Death? No, I don't. What do you? Nickelback. Okay. I love Silver Side Up, man. That was a great album. That was a really great album. That just had good tunes on it. I mean, it's funny. I remember when they first came out. We were on the Headbangers Ball with Scott Ian as the host, and I remember. So this was probably The World Needs a Hero, and I remember that was when Nickelback, the How You Remind Me, had just come out. And I remember we were sitting there talking about it. Scott was. And they say something about it, like one of the guys worked at Starbucks, and he said, "Hey, do you want your Nickelback?" That's how they came up with the name. I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, but I did remember Scott telling that story. So
the Nickelback guys are cool. They're cool.
They are cool. They are cool. They're good dudes. In fact, it's funny when when I came back to Megadeth 2010, we were doing the Rust in Peace tour, Megadeth Slayer, and we were playing an arena up in Salt Lake City. And Nickelback were going to play the next night, and so they had a night off. They came down to the show, and I had known them from when I was working at PV and stuff. So it was fun. They came and they hung out. And Chad's great, man. He's a great musician. He's a super talented songwriter, great musician, big Megadeth fan, huge Megadeth Metallica fan. So yeah, those guys they're okay.
Remember these, Dave?
Oh, I do. I have one.
Do you?
Someone on a Rat Child. But I play with a pick, so it doesn't quite.
Look at this handsome guy. Look at that guy. Who's that? Look at that handsome guy.
I just signed a bunch of that stuff. I had a bunch of fan mail here, the stuff that had just come in and been building up. I had in the box over here. Yep, I literally just signed one of those. Hunk of the month. I just signed one of those the other day.
This is probably that bass right there, isn't it?
That is it, dude. That's it. I literally sent them. I probably sent them that picture. So that was us. We were opening for Judas Priest. That was in 1990. We were on the Painkiller.
Painkiller thing with
Testament?
Testament?
Painkiller. Testament was what? Souls of Black, I think, right?
Yep.
So, yeah, that was it. Yep. That was, I think it was a Gene Kirkland photo. Gene took a lot of great photos. I literally was sending Jackson those pictures in order to recreate this bass.
There you have it, folks, right there.
There it is. Well, it's not this bass. Because there was literally that one. I toured the world on Rust in Peace and Countdown with one 5-string bass. I literally had one. And then finally they did make a second one. And you know what I made the second one out of on Countdown? It was actually out of Kip Winger's model. Kip had a cool model. It was kind of like it was like a concert bass, but it was a little more offset, like how this would be sort of a P bass. His was a little more offset, like a jazz bass. And so they made me a 5-string with that. It was good. It was okay. It was a little thin sounding. It didn't have the thickness that this one did. Because it had a beveled top on it. So it just didn't have the same low end characteristics that I wanted to hear. So
yeah.
Pam Trepanier, Hunk of the Month.
my favorite live stream game is playing What Bullshit Is on Tom's Desk. That's what I do. I just sit here and show off the random bullshit I have on my desk, like rock cards and Megadeth records and Pez dispensers and
well, people apparently like my long hair. All right, so for now, I'll keep it then.
The hunk of the month. You're the hunk of the month.
Yeah, the hunk of. Well. Right. So hey, I'm gonna check out. So we wanted to just check in and
we do with your fans accounts.
Yes,
we do. I totally do.
All right, how do you do this freaking thing, man? It's everything being in reverse. I don't know which side to jump to. So there's that one, right? There's the euthanasia drum. Shake it lean that way, right? The drum skin.
Selectahead.com. I'm gonna put you guys got to go check out the fucking Iron Maiden ones. God, I'm gonna order like 10 of these.
These are so cool. These are so good. Yeah, and I think you're gonna make some for us too, right?
They are. They're making They're making a Sleeping Giants one and one with just the Fallout logo on it, a Sleeping Giants and a Simple Truth.
I almost don't want to get rid of it.
I know.
Maybe I'll negotiate with the person who bought it on the eBay. Yeah. I'll buy it back.
Hey, you can just go bid on it yourself. I mean,
I should go put a bid in now. It's probably like $1,000.
It's actually not. It's only a few hundred. It's not that bad, right? It was way higher, and then someone canceled a bid, which kind of pissed me off. But apparently they put in the wrong number or something. But whatever.
Well, so it might be their loss because maybe I'll just keep it.
Exactly. It's only like $200. I mean, you might as well.
Maybe I'll just buy it and keep it, and then that way I'll have it in my own house. So
I know, right?
Take that, you wrong number bidder. All right.
Here's the link to Select Ahead too, and they're gonna have some Ellefson Sleeping Giants ones and.
Kristen Van Den Over used to come to Jason's Deli. I know, I did. I still go there once in a while. In fact, I saw that they're open. It's I still go to Jason's Deli once in a while. That's like a popular eating spot around town. Of course, I haven't been there in a while So Ryan never cut your hair. All right.
Was Nick your favorite drummer to play with?
Not necessarily. He was probably my favorite friend. Guy. Yeah, just as a buddy, he was awesome to have. I mean, you know, playing wise, Nick would often push the beat a lot, which it's funny. In recording, he was amazing. He recorded so well. But Nick played really on top of the beat. It was part of his energy and it was part of his vibe. So it created a bigger vibe for the band. Probably one of the most comfortable drummers. Probably the two most comfortable drummers I played with, Chuck Beeler and Sean Drover, to be honest with you. In fact, the two of them, very similar feel. And Dirk, amazing. I mean, Dirk is just, you know, if you say, hey, push the beat, he does. You say, pull it back, he does. I mean, Dirk is a timekeeping machine and an absolute monster. So, but yeah, Nick was more than just a drummer to me. He was a close, dear friend and was part of the internal architecture of Megadeth. So, you know, Nick was as much a buddy, bike riding friend, dude we'd hang out with. And, you know, and, you know, he was a lot more than just a drummer. So, and a great drummer at that. So, in fact, one of my favorite things with Nick was standing on the side of the stage as we went out and we walked out. I think we started using Ice-T's. What was the song? Stay Home. Right? Maybe used it. They used the Sabbath thing. What is that Ice-T song? It was an Ice-T song, right? It was the Sabbath thing, and then he had Jello Biafra from the Dead Kennedys doing the narration over. Anyway, that was the thing that we used to come out when we started the show. Yeah. Nick would come out, Marty'd come out, then I'd come out, and then David would come out, and then we'd cross into Holy Wars. And watching Nick back there with his drums and the sign of a cross and doing that to the audience, that was so entertaining. He was definitely a ball of energy.
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, guys, go bid on our auctions. Go
do it.
Touch the link one more time. Go pick up these killer heads back there before David does. I mean, dude, they look pretty damn good in your office.
They're awesome. Yeah, if you don't bid on them, that's fine too. I'll just keep them here. So either they go to your house or they go to my house because they look pretty freaking good here. But I will let you have them if you want to bid on them. So
and if you want to donate to our fundraiser, you can still do that. Give me 1 second for the Ellefson Youth Music Foundation.
So Tanner's asking, is there a story behind the gang vocals on Malice's License to Kill? Yes, there is. So me and Jay Reynolds became good friends. Dave knew him a little bit too from his days in Malice, and then Jay and I became good friends. So Jay one day calls me up, and we had a Cop Killer. You're right, Iceberg Show. Thank you.
Oh,
Ice-T Cop Killer.
This is all in the book, by the way.
It is. It's all in the book, in More Life with Death. And so Jay calls me up and says, hey, come down to the studio. Max Norman's producing our new record for Atlantic. Would you and Dave want to sing on a couple of songs in background? So I said, sure. So Dave, should we go down and sing? Sure. So we drive down. We're probably a little buzzed that hour, as everyone in Hollywood would be by that time. Because it was a late night session, like, you know, midnight kind of session. And I think Jay talked about in the book that they would go in and they would record from like midnight to 6 in the morning because they could get the studio time cheaper over like Fiddlers or something, right? Yeah. And it was the first time I'd met Max. I think it was the first time I'd met him. And then he and I would hang out later at the Rainbow after the session, you know, in months later. But so we went down, and it was funny. It was the guys from Black and Blue. So it was Tommy Thayer, who now plays guitar in Kiss. And they were, I think, the bass player and the singer, Jamie St. James. They were on Gene Simmons' label, Simmons Records. But those three guys sang on a ton of records, like pretty much all those kind of, you know, hair metal records back in the 80s. They did all the background vocals on all of them. They sang on everything. So they were there. Me and Dave were there. The guys from Malice were there, and we were just in the background singing "Chain Gang Woman" right with the headphones on, standing around a microphone singing the same way we would sing, you know, on you know, Rust in Peace, you know, like, you know, take no prisoners, da, 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 take no shit, right? Same thing, kind of gang vocal.
Take no prisoners.
Yeah.
Dude, dude.
Shit. There you go.
Dude, you know what I want to do really quick before we go?
Sure.
So Ricky Benaza just came in. So the other night when we were showing the playthrough videos, I never showed Ricky's because we just showed a couple of them. I'm going to show his real quick before we go. Hang on 1 second.
Okay.
Let's see.
Do I still have my BC Rich? I do not, Eddie Burton. I do not.
It's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, yeah. So the motorcycle. You know, we just put Dread and the Fugitive Mind in the set. I thought motorcycle would be a good one too. I should have to listen to it again. Remember?
Dude, I know the Iron Maiden heads are fucking amazing. I want every single one of them. Okay, here we go. We're gonna share audio, share screen, share, and here's Ricky Bonazza's Simple Truth playthrough.
Oh, nice. Tune up.
We're working on it.
Freaking awesome.
Isn't it? This is my favorite part right here.
Fucking nailed that. That's so awesome.
Take it. And if you came in a win. Hey, Rusty, you could fuck yourself if you want.
He's so awesome.
Thank you, Rusty. Fine, you don't have to fuck off.
I'll play with fingers too, so we get.
All right, do it. Do it. That's next. Ricky Bonazza from the Butcher Baby. Dude, he's
nice. Dude, that's so rad. That's so what's that? Go ahead.
No, so we played with that. So, you know, I played with Chris Poland. Me and Opus and Dave played with Chris Poland at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction, and he played bass. He was junior for the night. And he played Peace Cells just like that with his fingers. It was crazy.
Well, it's funny. You know, I was just doing a lesson the other day, and just showing somebody that's exactly. So if you wanted the right hand is just doing this the whole time. It's just right. And so this finger comes up and just plays the notes. right? So that's all it is. If anyone at home's learning it, you just
Well,
play
I'm actually posting, Dave. So one of the kids in the Youth Foundation lessons the other day, David asked, "What do you want me to teach you how to play?" And he asked Simple Truth. So David did the whole lesson. So I'm actually going to post it tonight or tomorrow. So the whole lesson.
Cool. Yeah.
So somebody else asked me today. They want to do a vocal playthrough singing Simple Truth.
Perfect.
So I told him I would get him the track without my lead vocals. So I hit up Alessio to. It's getting even more and more fun, man. People are starting to do guitar playthroughs and vocal sing throughs. And
hey, Kevin Sherman talking about Murder in the Front Row. I know it's great. I got a copy of it right over there. Yeah, it's really, really cool. Great, great story. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining in. Have a good one. Rock on. We will see you. I don't know. We randomly pop in whenever. So, all right, go check out the eBay auction. So,
see you later.
See you.
Later.